Hi everybody, I am Professor Narendra, ex-top of Government Politics, and I am the faculty of Alora Institute Hubli. Most of you people might have seen my face because I was in the YouTube also. So today I come just to give the demo class about the DCC subject, that is engineering mathematics. In the engineering mathematics actually 5 chapters are there: matrices, straight line, trigonometry, differentiation, and integration. In every chapter, 4 marks will be asked. In all, 20 marks. I'll just give the demo class idea. That means our DCET training is unlike your diploma training. In the diploma, whichever the subject you take, you have the ample time, 1 full semester for the completion of the syllabus. Whereas in DCET, the training pattern or the method will be entirely different, especially for mathematics, you can see. So in the DCET mathematics subject, as I told you, 20 questions will be there. Those 20 questions, which you already come across in the first year, at that time, it may be for 3 marks, 5 marks, or 6 marks. Suppose if you face the 3 marks problem, you used to take 5 to 6 minutes. 5 marks problem, you used to take 8 to 10 minutes just to solve and write all the steps in the diploma level. When you go for the 6 mark problem, you used to take 10 to 15 minutes. So that was the way how you approach the question in the diploma level. Whereas in the DCET, it is entirely different. I'll just give the sample problems on every chapter and I'll just show you how the DCET mathematics is made simple, unlike the diploma. Well guys, welcome to our institution once again. Let's go through the demo class of mathematics subject here. I'll just take a simple example on matrices first. Let's go for that problem on the matrices. Look at the question here. Adjoint of the matrix 6 minus 1, 2, 3 is dash. You have been given a matrix and you are supposed to find the adjoint of that matrix. So here, when you start this subject, when you start with this particular chapter, matrices, first we'll give the detailed idea about the theoretical part. We'll let you know first what do you mean by a matrix. What's a matrix? You just recall what you have come across in the first year. It is a systematic arrangement. It is a systematic array of the numbers. How the arrangement takes place? The numbers, the set of numbers, they are arranged in certain horizontal rows and the vertical columns. If that particular arrangement, if it is enclosed within a square bracket, that we call it as a matrix. And while writing the matrix, there is no condition how many rows should be there, how many columns should be there. Any number of rows and any number of columns. With this, we start with the theoretical background for the chapter matrix here. So this is the way how you write the matrix. 6 minus 1, 2, 3 within square bracket. So this is the matrix given to you. A equal to 6 minus 1, 2 and 3. How many rows are there? First row, second row. How many columns? First column, second column, 2 into 2. So this is called as a square matrix. In a matrix, if there are equal number of rows and columns, that we call it as a square matrix. Now, you are supposed to find the adjoint of this matrix. To find the adjoint of a matrix, what are the theoretical background you need here? First, you are supposed to know how to write the minor of any element of a matrix. For every element of a matrix, there is a minor. A step ahead of that, there is a cofactor. So, first you are supposed to know how to write the minor and how to write the cofactor. Let's go for that first. Suppose if you want to go for the cofactors here, in writing the adjoint of a matrix, 3 steps are to be followed. This is step number 1. In the first step, we are going to write the cofactors of all the 4 elements. The numbers which are present inside the matrix, they are called as the elements. How many elements are there? 2 into 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose if you want to write the cofactor, you write the symbol capital C, which represents the cofactor here. Cofactor of which element? Suppose if you want to write the cofactor of 6, what is the position of 6 here? This is in the first row and first column. So we write it as C11. Cofactor of this -1, C12, then C21, then C22. So we can write 4 cofactors here. How we are going to write the 4 cofactors? Cofactors are nothing but the minors itself. Cofactor and minor, both are one and the same. But what is the difference? One and the same only in the numerical figure. But some differ in the sign. So how to write the sign convention for the cofactors for the second order? First, we are write with plus sign, last also with plus sign, and minus sign in between. Plus, minus, minus, plus. Suppose if we go for the sign convention in the matrix itself, first plus, last plus, in between minus. Principal diagonal elements cofactors are with plus sign, secondary diagonal cofactors are with minus sign. Find them. After writing the sign convention, how to write the number? It is nothing but the minor itself. Find them. You are supposed to write 4 minors, minor of 6, minor of -1, minor of 2, and minor of 3. How will you write that? Very simple. If you want to write the minor of 6, it is nothing but the diagonally opposite element itself, that is 3. Suppose if you want to write the minor of -1, diagonally opposite, that is 2. What is the minor of 2? Diagonally opposite, -1. One minus sign is already there. One more minus is there. Minus of minus, it will be +1. Be careful when you come across the minus sign. You will do all the problems. You will do any complicated problem. But there is every possibility of going wrong when you come across the minus sign. So be careful when you come across the minus sign. So already minus was there, and one more minus with the element itself, minus of minus +1. Then what is the minor of this? Diagonally opposite, that's 6. So this is step number 1. Now let's go for step number 2. So in the second step, we are going to write a new matrix. What is that new matrix? So every element of the given matrix, suppose if this is the given matrix, this is the given matrix, every element should be replaced by corresponding cofactors. What do you mean by that? See here, in the original matrix 6 is there. In place of 6, you have to write 3. Then the cofactor of 6. In place of -1, you have to write -2. In place of 2, you have to write +1. In place of 3, you have to write 6. I'll write that matrix. See here, in the second step, we are going to write a new matrix where every element is replaced. So 3, -2, +1, and 6. What do you call this matrix? What is the difference between these two matrices? Here, what all the numbers present here, they are called as the elements. Whereas here, what are the numbers present inside this, they are not the mere numbers, they are the cofactors. That's why we call this matrix as matrix of cofactors. This is called as matrix of cofactors. Here I will write that matrix of cofactors. So this you are supposed to write in the second step. Then step number 3. In the third step, we can write the answer. What do we want? If A is the given matrix, you are supposed to find adjoint of that matrix. How will you write that? In short, ADJ, which represents adjoint. Adjoint A. That means adjoint of the matrix A. How will you write that? So the answer you are getting just by using an important property that you will come across in the matrix. What is that? Transpose of a matrix. So I'm making use of an important property here. Transpose of a matrix. What do you mean by transpose? That also in the regular training class will give the information about that. That theoretical part also will be just training you. So if you want to write the adjoint, just take the transpose of whatever the matrix you got it in step 2. So what is that? Matrix of cofactors. Take the transpose of this. How will you write the transpose? Just interchange the rows and columns. Say for example, this is the first row 3 minus 2. Write it as first column. This is the second row 1, 6. So write it as second column. That's all. So what is the transpose of a matrix? It's one which is obtained by interchanging the rows and columns. Either you can write the row as column or the column as row. One and the same. Interchange the rows and column, you are getting the transpose. That itself is called as adjoint of a matrix. I hope the idea is clear. This we used to give for 5 marks in the diploma level. If any matrix is given, how to write the adjoint of that? 3 steps are to be followed. Guys, do you have this much of time in DCET? As you know, in 3 hours, one paper, 100 questions will be there. You are supposed to answer 100 questions in just 3 hours duration. Time management is most important. You cannot go for sparing 10 minutes or 15 minutes for a single problem when you are going to finish the paper then. Isn't it? Fine. Now let's go for the shortcut method that we can use in the DCET. You need not go for the whole thing. So what is your shortcut method? I will just let you know. I hope the answer is clear. So this is the answer. Just go through all the 4 options here. These are the 4 options. Some technical error with the software here. So these are the 4 options. You have to find the correct answer. How will you go for finding the correct answer? You cannot go for all these tips. Look at this. Let's go for a simple technique here. This is the given matrix. A equal to 6, minus 1, 2 and 3. How will you directly write adjoint A? Look at the simple technique here. In this square matrix, this is called as your principal diagonal. This is called as the secondary diagonal. Just like in a transformer, primary and secondary winding. Correct? So this is your principal diagonal. What is the shortcut method? These 6 and 3 are the principal diagonal elements. Interchange that. Instead of writing 6 and 3, write 3 and 6. This is the first step. Next step, you have the secondary diagonal elements. Just change the sign there itself. You need not go for interchanging. Change the sign of this. So instead of minus, you have to write plus 1. This plus 2 will become minus 2. Got the answer? Finish. So if this is the given matrix, interchange and change the sign of the secondary. That's all. How much time you need? In terms of seconds. Just you need 2 or 3 seconds. That's all. Is the idea clear? This is actually the method you have to follow for DCET, not the regular and the conventional method of solving the problems here. Fine guys, let's go for one more example. I hope the idea is clear. What is DCET mathematics? Right? Let's go for the next one. Take a simple example here. This is an example from the trigonometry. The value of sine 35 into cos 25 plus cos 35 into sine 25. When you start with the trigonometry, the basic idea you got in SLC itself, and after that we have developed in the diploma. In the first year we have come across allied angles, compound angles, multiple and submultiple angles, and transformation formula. These were the 4 chapters we have come across in the diploma level. But one thing you have to remember, a number of formulae we have come across in trigonometry. Correct? A number of formulae. But what is the important point? In the trigonometric formulae, you have to remember the formula in both the direction. What do you mean by that? If LHS is given, you are supposed to know the right RHS. If RHS is given, you have to make out the LHS. Say for example, sin square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. You can write it when solving the problem. If you come across this particular expression, sin square theta plus cos square theta, immediately you can write it as 1. But in some of the problems, whenever you come across 1 and you want to prove something, you want to solve a particular problem, in place of 1, you may have to use sin square theta plus cos square theta. That means if LHS is known, you can write the RHS. If RHS is known, you can write the LHS. One more example I will give. In the trigonometry itself, when you go for the multiple and submultiple angle formula, one simple formula you used to come across there. Sin 2a, that is the multiple angle formula. What is sin 2a? 2 sin a into cos a. Come in the reverse way. In solving some of the problem, suppose if you come across 2 sin a into cos a, immediately you can write it as sin 2a. Fine guys. This is an example on the first chapter, that is allied angles, and the second chapter, the compound angles, is a combination of that. In the allied angle chapter, we used to come across all the 6 trigonometric functions, but of the standard angles. What are the standard angles? Maybe standard acute or more than 90 degree also. Suppose if the angle instead of 35 degree, if it is given as 30 degree, what is sin 30? We know that 1 upon 2. Suppose if it is cos 30, So cos 30 is equal to root 3 by 2. So instead of giving 35 degree and 25 degree, if the angles would have been the standard acute angles, what are the standard acute angles? 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90 degree. Immediately you can write the result. But you have the odd figures. What you can do here? You can't find the values of this. In the DCET, no calculator is allowed. If the calculator would have been allowed, you would have written the value using your calculator. But how to solve this example? Sin 35 into cos 25. Cos 35 into sin 25. In sin function you have got 35. The same angle is present with the cos function. In cos function you have got 25 and the same, just a minute, and the same angle it is with the sin function here. 35 degree greater angle. You can just treat it as A. Sin A into cos 25 degree, the smaller angle, you can just treat it as B. Sin A into cos B plus cos A into sin B. You can make out like this. When the angle is odd, you can make out like this. Sin A into cos B plus cos A into sin B. So this is the formula for sin A plus B. Suppose if you remember the trigonometric formula, immediately you can make out that this is the formula for sin A plus B. So this is your LHS, this is your RHS. LHS is given, you can write the RHS. RHS is given, you can write the LHS. So what is A plus B here? A is 35 degree and B is 25 degree. Total it is 60 degree. That means you will get sin 60. What is sin 60? Root 3 by 2. Finished. Ready to have it? So the answer is root 3 by 2. Is it okay? So in the DCET examination, you need not use the pen for the rough work for most of the problems. Minimum usage of the pen. Why? Suppose if you use the pen for the simplification or and all, you'll be wasting the time in DCET. You have to go for the shortcut method or the shortcut procedure. Within no time, you are supposed to get the answer. Fine. Look at this particular example here. Sin A into cos B plus cos A into sin B. That is the formula for sin A plus B. A is 35, B is 25. So 35 plus 25, 60. Sin 60, what is sin 60? Root 3 by 2. Select the option. Out of the 4 options you have to select root 3 by 2. You need not use the pen at all. Fine guys. Let's go for one more example here. Let's go for the problems on the straight line. Second chapter is straight line. Look at the example here. Equation of a straight line passing through the point 7 minus 2 and parallel to the line 2x plus 6y plus 7 equal to 0. It's a problem on the straight line chapter. We'll be explaining to you in detail what's meant by a straight line. What is the angle of inclination? What is the slope of a line? If there are two lines, if they are parallel to each other, what is the relation between the slopes? If they are perpendicular to each other, what is the relation between the slopes? General form of a straight line and special forms of a straight line and different formulae to find the slope of a line. These all theoretical part we will be dealing in this chapter. Finally, we can come to this particular problem. I will just draw the figure according to this problem. Find the equation of a straight line. So this is a straight line and you are supposed to find the equation of this straight line. How is the straight line? Two conditions are put forth. One, it passes through the point 7 minus 2. See here, this is the point whose coordinates are 7 minus 2. And parallel to the line, there is a second line whose equation is given by 2x plus 6y plus 7 equal to 0. This is the example. 5-mark example in diploma level. How will you do this problem? If you want to do this problem, you have to make use of all the theoretical idea. We want the equation of this straight line. How is the straight line? It is passing through a single fixed point. You have to go for making use of the special form, that is 1-point form. According to 1-point form, what is the equation of this straight line? Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. This is the equation you have to make use of for this particular special form. And this, what do you mean by x1, y1? They are the coordinates of the point through which it is passing. So this itself will be your x1, y1. Find then, what is m? M is the slope of the required line. How will you find the slope? You have got 3 different formulas. One is m equal to tan theta. That cannot be used because only when the angle of inclination theta is given, you can use that. What is the second formula? Minus A upon B. When you can go for that? Only when the equation is given to you in the general form. And one more formula is there. That is 2-point formula. You cannot use all the three formula here. Then how will you find the slope m? So for that, you can make use of the second line. So if two lines are parallel, the slopes are equal. That means m equal to m dash. So first find the slope of the second line, that is m dash. How will you find the slope of the second line m dash? The simple formula, minus a divided by b. That's equal to minus a is 2. Right? Oh, sorry guys, I will write it here. So m dash is equal to minus a upon b. That's equal to minus 2 divided by b is 6. So this is your a and this is your b. Will be alright? So minus 2 divided by 6, 2 1s are 2 3s are, that's equal to minus 1 upon 3. We got the value of slope m dash as minus 1 upon 3. Since the two lines are parallel, slopes are equal. So m and m dash are equal. This is also minus 1 upon 3. Now, put the value of m as minus 1 upon 3. Substitute the values of x1 and y1 as 7 and minus 2. In this particular equation, simplify. Now I am saying very simply simplify. But a number of steps are to be followed. Simplification is also not that easy, guys. A number of steps are to be followed. So then you will get the final answer. What is the final answer? It is the equation of a straight line. Remember, it's always in the general form. It should be always in the general form. Whenever you go for writing the equation of a straight line, it must be, if it is the answer, it must be always in the general form. What is the general form of a straight line? Ax plus by plus c equal to 0. First x term, next y term, then the constant term. So this is the quantum of work you are supposed to do. But let's go for the shortcut method here. What is that shortcut method? Look at this. You have the 4 options here. These are the 4 options. You have to make out which is the correct answer. That is the equation of the straight line. This is the theoretical part we are making use of. If two lines are parallel to each other, if the slope of the first line, if the angle of inclination of the first line is 30 degrees, then what is the angle of inclination of the second line? That is also 30. If two lines are parallel, the inclination is same. Then what is the slope of the first line? Tan theta. M equal to, this is the formula to be used when the angle of inclination is given. That's equal to tan 30 degree. Tan 30 equal to 1 upon root 3. And what is the slope of the second line? That is also 1 upon root 3. Both are same. Fine. Now, the theoretical background for this. If both the slopes are same, so this is your m and this is your m dash. What is m equal to? Minus a upon b. What is m dash equal to? Minus a upon b. This is the another formula we can use for finding the slope. M equal to m dash means numerator equal to numerator, denominator equal to denominator. That means what? In the equation of the straight line here, equation of the first line, equation of the second line. Slopes are same means first term, coefficient of the first term and coefficient of the second term, they must be same. If two lines are parallel, first two terms must be same. Because those two terms, so in the equation, say for example, look at this, the equation of the second line is 2x plus 6y plus 7 equal to 0. What is the slope of this? M equal to minus a upon b, that's equal to minus 2 divided by 6, that's equal to minus 1 upon 3. The same should be your m dash. That means what? The same should be your m dash means the coefficient of x and the coefficient of y. These two must be same. If two lines are parallel, the coefficients of the first two terms must be same. Final conclusion. If equation of the second line is given, how to find the equation of the first line? The first two terms must be same. 2x plus 6y. Very simple. You can directly jump over to the answer. Look at the option here. You have got 4 options. Which of the option contains the first two terms as 2x and 6y? It's here. This is 2x minus 6y. It's not the answer. This cannot be the answer. This cannot be the answer. So this is the only line where the first two terms are same. 2x plus 6y. So this must be the answer. You can go for a regular method, what I am just shown. We'll get the same answer. So, what is the shortcut method? If two lines are parallel, first two terms must be same. This is the easiest way. Within no time, read a question, mark the answer. Suppose if two lines are perpendicular, of course there is also a shortcut method. You can directly go for the answer. 99% of the problems on the straight line, we can solve it on a simple shortcut method. A very simple shortcut method. Most of the problems you can just get the answer within few seconds, 1 or 2 seconds. Idea is clear. This is mathematics. That is DCET mathematics. Detail will come across in the first year itself. But now, you should have the knowledge. You should have the theoretical background. Then only you can jump over here. So all the theoretical background will be given to you in the class. In the training class, all the theoretical part, what are required for DCET will be given to you. Then you can jump to the final answer. One more example. Suppose if you go for differentiation and integration. Of course, differentiation and integration, they are the quite opposite mathematical processes. Let's go for a problem in differentiation. Differentiation of what? Differentiation of a function. Suppose if a function is given y equal to fx, you can go for the differentiation of that function. If y is equal to fx, if this is the function given to you, you can go for differentiation of that with respect to x. If y depends on x, you can go for dy by dx. If y depends on theta, dy by theta. If y depends on t, you can go for dy by dt. That's called as differentiation of a function with respect to the independent variable. All the detailed theoretical part will be explained to you in the class, in the DCET class. All the standard results will be given to you. And will be explained all the rules of differentiation. Then you have to go for the problems. Problems may be in the general method or it may be in the special method. After the special method, we will be dealing with the applications of differentiation also. All these things we will be studying in the differentiation. Let's go for a very simple example here. Look at this. If y equal to x to the power sin x, then dy by dx equal to dash. You have been given the function y equal to x to the power sin x and you are supposed to find the answer for this. 4 options. Look at the options also. These are the 4 options. This is the given expression. These are the options. Of course, in differentiation and integration, question is very small. Answer will be a number. It will be containing a number of terms. See here. This is a simple expression. X to the power sin x. Look at the option here. Let's go for the solution of this. How will you go for the differentiation of this? You have to go for a special method, that is logarithmic differentiation. This you have to differentiate using the method of logarithmic differentiation. A lengthy procedure for that. Logarithmic differentiation means you have to go for a very lengthy procedure. A number of steps you have to follow using a simple rule of logarithm. Since the simple rule of logarithm is made use of in this problem, it is called as logarithmic differentiation. In what way? Take log on both sides. Log y equal to logarithm of x to the power sin x. I am just telling you showing the method here. Log y equal to log of x raised to n. Look at the RHS. So here a simple rule of logarithm can be used. X to the power sin x, this is the index that will come outside when you apply the rules of logarithm. So you can write it as sin x into log x. Directly you cannot differentiate here. You can differentiate directly only when the index is a number, not a function. Suppose if it is x square, x cube, x raised to 10, directly make use of the standard result. X raised to n equal to n into x raised to n minus 1, but not for the functions here. If it is in the index form and index is again another function, maybe a function of x or maybe a function of y, then you have to go for logarithmic differentiation. What is the important rule? See here, log of x to the power m is equal to, this m will come outside, m into, you are left with only log x. Index is gone. It is written in the product form. So this is the rule of logarithm that is made use of here. LHS will be log y, RHS is sin x into log x. So instead of the index form, it is converted into product form. Now you can go for what is called as another special method, implicit differentiation. First, start with the logarithmic differentiation, then you go for the implicit differentiation. Again, 5 to 6 steps you are supposed to write. Finally, you will get the answer. This is the quantum of work. Logarithmic differentiation associated with the implicit differentiation. But where is this much of time in the DCET, guys? No, it's not the way. It's not the way for attempting the competitive examination like DCET. Fine, you understand. Of course, we'll be explaining all the theoretical part. Even this problem also in detail we'll be doing in the training class. But finally, we jump to the shortcut method. Just imagine what will be the shortcut method. It's very simple. In most of the problems like this, you can directly go for the answer. Look at all the 4 options. X is outside the bracket. X into something inside. Here, x to the power sin x into something inside. And here, sin x into something inside. Here again, x into something inside. What is the correct answer? The one which starts with the given expression itself. The correct answer is one which starts with the given expression itself. What is x to the power sin x? Where is that? Here is x to the power sin x. Correct? You can directly just mark this answer. See how much simple it is? The answer is 1. That is, the answer is 1 which starts with the given expression. How about the terms inside the bracket? It will follow by itself. Remember guys, 99.99% of the problems in DCET you have to go for the shortcut method only. Because there is no question of going wrong in the shortcut method. Suppose if you go for the detailed method, there is every possibility of going wrong somewhere in between. Correct? But what about this? No question of going wrong. X to the power sin x here. Whatever may be inside that, select it. But every day is not Sunday. Always you cannot expect only one option will start with x to the power sin x. Suppose this also starts with x to the power sin x. This cannot be your answer. This also cannot be your answer. But out of these two, because both are starting with x to the power sin x, inside the bracket something, then which is the correct answer? The next tool you have to make use of. If you are not getting the answer by this shortcut method, another alternate shortcut method will also be told to you. For every problem, alternate shortcut will be given. Suppose the option is not, you are not getting the option in a single, this one option, the answer you are not getting in a single option, you can go for the multiple tools. You can use the multiple tools here. If not this is also the same, another method you have to follow. That method will also be explained. We are not explaining only one method. All possible methods will explain the training class. So this is the way how you are training your clients. Fine. Go through this. If you are comfortable, then think of the next step. But take right decision at the right time. I'll come to you with a next video clip, that is a demo class clip on FEEE in the next class. Till then, have a nice time.